Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool would give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Fortune and glory, kid.
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Hello!
This week, we're discussing the Norwegian Nazi zombie comedy horror thing,
Yes.
Dead Snow, starring many Norwegian actors. How about that?
Many.
Many. Each week, we discuss the guilty pleasures, forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genre with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's the latest with you?
Well, for those not in California, February is the beginning of spring. So every
Allegedly.
almond tree is in full bloom. Every tree in the neighborhood is in full bloom. And even though I take allergy medication and 2 different nose sprays, I'm almost dead right now. My nose is a fountain. So we almost started recording with 2 small tampons hanging out of my nose. The faucet will not turn off. I took 3 of the OTC allergy pills. Let's see what happens.
Well, and when I talked to you about this, the flu is ravaging my house. So if you can't tell, my voice is basically shot. It reminds me, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I was a guest on our friend Ian's podcast, The Best Film Ever, and we talked about
Yes.
Shallow Grave for 3 hours, where my
I
voice
love
was like,
Shallow Grave. Why
was
wasn't
like-
I on that podcast?
probably should
How
have been.
dare you?
Probably should have been, because my voice was not doing great. He literally said, "Are you ready? Sure you're ready for this?" I'm like, "I feel fine. I just sound like shit. Do you still want me to be on your show?" Is a better question. So it worked out,
He's
I
like-
guess.
He's like,
Good
get the hell out of there.
So what else, other than our illnesses, what's up with you?
All right, this is my plan this weekend. My hoarder holler, I'm dragging everything out into the living room, in between me almost dying from these allergies. And things will be dealt with. Things will be organized. It will take me all weekend because you can only see 1/10 of the shame. What needs to be sold? What needs to be put into storage?
What
Just
needs to be
put-
burned?
What needs to be burned? I like to do collage work, so I literally just have those milk crate boxes full of every kind of weird magazine or whatever.
So you're truly a hoarder. You're not just being facetious. You're like, I live the
I
hoarder.
hide it. According to TikTok, it's I have diagnosed myself also with ADHD because they're like, people with ADHD do the piling kind of organization. I was like, ooh. Literally, I've cleaned my desk off, which you can't see, twice in 2 weeks, and it is just as full as ever.
Well,
Because I did my taxes.
just the back of your room behind you, obviously pristine condition.
2 desks that I have not seen the surface of. I'll take everything off of this and put it on this one, and as you can see, something else shows up. And I did spot even more cameras last weekend, so I'm not going to estate sales this time. I am gonna sort through everything and try to at least organize and post some stuff on eBay. Let's get some money in.
Fair. I mean, do people want old rotten crap? I mean, is that a hot seller?
These are all cameras. Look at this beautiful camera that I got. It's beautiful. Look at this. It
That's kind
takes
of
a
old
little
school, huh?
Yeah, it's like 3 megapixels. Oh no, 8 megapixels. It's a
Ooh.
video and it'll take pictures, and it is broken. So I'm gonna be
Oh.
selling that. Sometimes you don't know until you put those batteries in and then notice that nothing is goddamn happening. So I'm gonna have a lot of my collection of broken cameras that I will put on eBay.
For sale as a doorstop, essentially.
Doorstop, or people like to take them apart and goof around, or they display, whatever. Give me some money. At least give me back what I paid for.
We always want money. Give us
Mhm.
money is kind of my attitude in life. Give me.
I
some
mean, the
money.
best bet was me just to sit home and then people give me money. But I think after a week or so, work may stop paying me if I try that.
I thought you were going to say
there's-
after a week or so I'd get bored. No,
No,
you just stop
I
paying.
would not. I would not get bored. I would make new friends, and we would be the ladies who lunch. And then I'd be Pilates in the morning, lunch with friends, perhaps a nap.
Well, this is the
Sleep
thing.
off the Chardonnay from lunch.
People don't realize this is why athletes and actors basically hire their friends to hang out with them, because normal people still have to work. You can't just be like, hey, let's meet for brunch. It's a Tuesday. I have a job. How about I pay you to not work and you can just hang out with me? That's the thing.
Those are the worst friends. But now you know why people. I thought we were going to say now we know why people went to Epstein's Island. He was always available.
That's not what I was going to say at all. No, that ain't good. That's bad stuff. Okay, Aaron, give us your 30-second synopsis of Dead Snow, please.
Norwegian Evil Dead homage with Nazis. It's the one thing that Evil Dead was missing. Nazis.
Agreed. That's it. Clear, clean, and concise.
Boom.
Had you ever heard of this before? Much less.
I had seen like the cover art for the posters, all that. I did not know it was supposed to be a horror comedy. But let me tell you, friend, I know Evil Dead, and this is no Evil Dead.
And this,
it's nice that the Norwegians like to have fun. So there we go.
Well, and you have to acknowledge it's in Norwegian. So
Yes.
It could be a lot of Norwegian knee slappers that are just floating right by us. That may be a possibility.
You say it wasn't funny because of poor translations, idioms we've missed.
Well, 100%. What I read was something along the lines of this is meant to be a horror satire, is what I heard, which may explain the fact that it was not scary even a little bit.
It was not scary, nor was it really funny. There was like a moment where the Nazis were like a video game and you had to level up till you got to the big boss who just said, F it. And then you're like, you're f***ed.
Sweet
even in Norwegian. So we learned in Norwegian that we all say okay.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm fluent, so I can get through some village in Norway where they don't speak English, just being able to use okay and
there was a scene where they find the box of like gold coins in the floor of the cabin they're staying in. They open it up, and the movie guy was like, said in perfect English, "Fortune and glory, kid." And then the girl who inexplicably was attracted to him said, "Fortune and glory." Do you know what movie that's from?
No.
Movie. Yes. You have to say it with like Harrison Ford. "Fortune and glory, kid." It's from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Dude, this was the Temple of Doom. This is when you pulled the idol.
That's
they're all in medical school, and every one of them stole a piece of the gold after they said no, we should leave it. Every single one of them stole something.
Somebody slipped one coin into like her boyfriend's pocket when he wasn't looking or some shit. Do you remember that? It was like, and then that was like the reveal in the final moment where he thinks he's getting away, and then he finds the coin in his pocket. He's like, "What the?" And then the zombie shows up.
Yeah, that was a good ending. That was probably the best part. I was like, oh, when the coin drops out of the key, and you're like, oh shit. So really, this all could have been avoided if they were not thieves.
I thought about that, but that's not true. Because remember the girlfriend who was allegedly cross-country skiing to meet
that is true.
cabin? And that was kind of an effective opening where she's running. It's dark. You can't really see. You see just those trees everywhere. She's running through the snow, and you see these dark figures kind of approaching. That was good.
I would say, that was the only moment where I thought, oh, this could be something. And then that feeling went away.
I saw this movie about 5 years ago for the first time, for the only time. And I swear to God, seeing it the second time, it was like seeing it fresh. I knew it was zombies. I knew they were Nazis. And I kept thinking it was Swedish. But other than that, I had no recollection of anything else going on in this thing. So it was like watching it for the first time.
I'm sure the Norwegian are thrilled to hear that because, like with a lot of countries, there's some issues between Sweden and Norway.
They hate each other. It's a blood feud.
It's a blood feud.
Although
we were hiking in Norway, we said hi to people coming by. They're like, "We're not Norwegian, we're Swedish."
Hi.
In perfect English, which is also weird because nobody in the North countries want to be friendly with you. You just nod.
They're like Americans in that way.
Old Americans will sit and talk to you for hours. Young Americans, not so much.
I watched that Academy Award nominated Norwegian film. It was called Sentimental Value.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, the guy who plays like one of the main male character in it is Stellan Skarsgård, who's Swedish and is in fact speaking Swedish the entire movie. And basically what they said, I looked it up, Norwegian and Swedish are just similar enough that they can understand each other. And he said that he sounds like he's speaking Norwegian with a speech impediment, is how he describes speaking Swedish to them.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Now, hi, obviously, is an indicator.
Yeah.
So,
hi.
It's a thing. So which one is IKEA from?
Sweden.
Okay. Because they do say there is hi when you walk in IKEA as well.
Yes. And
it's
fika.
All straight.
You have to have your fika moment. That's in the afternoon. You're going to have your tea and a little cookie and a moment to yourself.
Do you know what they call a coat hanger in IKEA?
I don't know.
It's a boomerang.
Do you know what they call IKEA outside of America?
Crap. Bullshit.
IKEA.
Oh, is it truly? IKEA? Oh, that's interesting. Why don't we call it IKEA?
Because we're Americans and they figure we can't learn anything. We'll just say it wrong anyway. We can't be taught.
We are incapable of learning. Yeah. Anywho, Aaron, let's jump right into the highlights. What do you got? You start.
Well, the highlights are I thought it was all the men are terrible. The women seem okay.
Yes.
I don't understand why anyone would hang out with these people. The guys just seem like idiots. Am I crazy? Am I some uber feminist? They just seemed so immature.
Right. Well, there were three dudes. Honestly, the girls really didn't have much of a character at all. They were just three cute chicks, is basically their character type. You had the one dude who winds up being like I guess there's four guys. The one kind of earthy guy seemed okay. The guy goes off in the snowmobile. He seems fine, but kind of bland.
Oh my God. He's the most attractive of all. He's my favorite. Oh my God.
Well, and at one point you thought he was going to be the hero.
Dude, when he was okay,
Right.
the best part is he's getting bitten by the zombie and he's sewing his neck up with a fish hook. And he's like, oh, f it, and just duct tapes his neck. I was like, now this is the dude. This is the dude.
That was the dude. You thought he was the one.
I thought he was going to be the one.
Then you've got kind of the asshole guy who was just constantly making like shitty comments and insulting each other and blah, blah, blah. Who just kind of generic asshole guy. Then you had the kind of the fat movie buff guy who was, I guess, supposed to be funny, but was really more annoying than anything else.
He's a real knee slapper in Norwegian. To me, he seemed like he was an idiot. I'm like, this dude's in medical school? I'm not going to get injured in Norway.
Well, and then
televac me out.
The last dude was a guy who was also very bland. But his character was how he's a medical school student who gets queasy at the sight of blood. Like his girlfriend accidentally cuts her finger while they're cooking dinner.
It's like Doc Martin.
Right. He's like, oh.
I don't know if you ever watched Doc Martin, but it's a old British series.
It's like, catch me, I'm about to have the vapors or some shit.
And by the end, he's just coated in blood. Suddenly he's magically cured.
Yes. Fighting people with chainsaws.
Not repulsed. And then he chops his own arm off with a chainsaw for no reason, because these are not those kind of zombies. These are just undead Nazis, not like a fever contagion situation.
We have to talk about that because you're right. They are really not your typical zombies. They're zombies in the sense that they're undead
and animated.
But no one who gets attacked by the zombies ever comes back. Now there's a point where you think the one kind of snowmobile dude has a nightmare that his like bloody girlfriend's at the door. But I don't think she is, but then they find her backpack outside the door. So I don't know what the story is there. If that was just a nightmare.
That was a dream. And then they saw her head float by, or was that the other girl?
We got to talk about that. Okay.
Nazis like to keep head trophies.
They pop your head off like a grape. There's a scene. They're all sitting around the couch, bullshitting. And then, okay, I got to go back even further. Because they're all coming to this cabin to hang out, have a little, vacation, blah, blah, blah. But there's a setup. There's like, hey, super hot chick, we got a guy for you. Hey, ridiculous fat guy. I'm not trying to body shame, but there is clearly a difference between these two individuals.
See, here's the difference between men and women. A guy can be conventionally unattractive, but if he's funny, if he's got a great personality, he will become attractive. You know what I mean?
Bullshit.
No, that's facts.
Bullshit.
That's facts.
That's what women tell
it doesn't work for everybody, but for sure. I have totally known people who are like, oh my Lord, no. And then a beer and a long conversation, suddenly people are dating.
Okay, fair enough. Not in this case, however, because this guy was boorish and ridiculous and annoying.
No,
and
he had no personality. He does to make up for any deficits. I'm just saying men are more visual.
I agree with that. But let's not like act that women were born without eyes.
No. I mean, I didn't say he was Tyrion Lannister and his nose was cut off and he has a scar on his face and he's 3 foot tall, but amazing.
Anywho, so he's like, they're bullshitting and he gets up and he goes like, man, I got to take a wicked shit. And he just leaves. And she's like, okay. So he's in the outhouse because this place doesn't have any indoor plumbing, allegedly. He's sitting in there dropping a D. He's looking for toilet paper. And then the hot chick comes in to the shit house and is like, here and now, we're doing this. He hasn't wiped his ass yet.
It needs to be, yes. He's thinking this is the greatest thing. I'm going to drop a D simultaneously having an orgasm. What could be better? Only asphyxia, if you throw that in the mix.
It was the.
I,
That
I'm
was the
sure
most.
there's some club somewhere in Asia where men can go just to take a shit and have sex at the same time.
That I'm sure of. Either Asia or Germany. One of
Yeah.
the two. Or
Now,
Florida.
in Germany, then you're taking a D on someone else.
Fair. Fair. So they proceed to have a sex scene while he's sitting on the crapper. And again, this chick is smoking hot. And this dude, look, I'm sure he's got a nice personality. No, I'm not. That's lying.
But not in this character. He does not.
No, he does not.
Why was he blessed with such a gift? Maybe it's just a freer sexual society. And then he could give a that the girl is missing.
Yes. So they finish. He goes back inside because now she's like, I gotta take a wicked shit. And then she's killed. She gets pulled down into the crapper by a Nazi zombie.
Yeah.
She climbs out covered in shit with a wound because she got stabbed or some shit by the zombie. And then she's trying to crawl back to the house, gets tackled by a zombie, so she's dead. That when we see her face, people are terrified. Like, oh my God. But nobody's like, oh shit, that was the girl I literally just had sex with not 30 seconds ago. There was never that moment of, now I care. It's
Right.
like, bro.
Never.
No, not at all. Was she a hitchhiker? They did not give two
Dude.
shits that she was dead.
No. There was not a lot of I do believe there was much more concern in Evil Dead when people started disappearing. And I'm going to keep referencing Evil Dead as they did too.
I mean, honestly, we say Evil Dead, but there isn't like it's a cabin and there's monsters.
That's cabin,
that's the connection.
A group of friends,
Yes.
and Nazis.
And Nazis. That's it all. Yes, 100%.
That's really what was the problem. Is there's no Bruce Campbell, brother. There was no Evil Dead without Bruce Campbell, as the remake shows us.
Although Caleb just watched the remake of Evil Dead and thought it was better than the ones from the 80s, at which point I dropped him off at the orphanage because I said,
Obviously, there was a mistake at the hospital.
Clearly. Can I send this one back? What's the issue?
Take him to the fire station and abandon him.
Can you do that when they're 18? Well,
That's right. They're like, I changed my mind.
Look, is there a lemon law? I mean, what's the story here?
When they first started doing that infant abandonment, there weren't clear things. And I remember watching on the news that there were people trying to drop their teenagers off. Like, I've had enough.
I think I do remember that.
Remember that? I mean, they had to crack down on what was the age that you could drop your child off.
I mean, and that's the thing, though. It's like, you're not coming back for that. If your mom's taking you to this, if you can remember your mom trying to drop you off at the fire station, that's bad.
That's bad.
So I don't know. Maybe you should take those kids away. I don't know.
It should be going on. Yeah.
100%. Sweet Jesus. What else you got?
Oh my God. I have many things. Yeah. Erland is the guy we hate.
Yes. Right. The funny guy. The funny guy. Right.
How about when Erland gets snatched by the zombie Nazis and they pop his head open like a walnut and two slabs of brain go plippity ploppity on the floor. Fucking ridiculous.
Yes. He stands right next to an open window. The zombies grab him and kind of hold him there. And honestly, he's not really fighting all that much. He's like, oh my God, they've got me. And then another zombie comes up and literally pulls his head in half. Pops it, which I'm not sure that's even anatomically correct. But yeah, and then zoom into the brain, splash into the ground. Good stuff.
And later on, when they're doing hand-to-hand combat with the Nazis, they don't seem that strong.
No. Well,
I don't care if you have 4 people. You're not splitting a skull in half by pulling.
No, you are not. you are not. And then there's the homie on the snowmobile because again, we have to go back to this. They were supposed to, it was his girlfriend's cabin
Right.
who was like, you guys drive up. I am literally going to take a 2-day cross-country skiing excursion to meet you there. So you'll get there the day before me. That sounds like the worst idea in the snow. This sounds like the worst idea ever. I'm not doing it. And he eventually, because she doesn't show up the next morning, he eventually goes to look for her. And he falls in a hole, and it's like the Nazi secret den. Because there was a plot line.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's they're in this remote cabin. It took about 45 minutes to hike there.
Yeah.
This is a very like a European thing. Americans are not hiking anywhere. We're driving up and parking. But a wayward soul shows up in the middle of the night to demanding a cup of coffee, has a beer in his pocket, hand rolling his own cigarettes, telling the tales of World War II. About most of the time, the Nazis were cool.
I did catch that.
They'd roll into a community and they were good to the people. But then there was, in this little town right around here, the bad Nazis that were bad to the
Herzog. People. He was the bad Nazi. Oh, he was the bad Nazi. The rest of them were bad.
The rest were cool, you know. It was all right. Yeah. And then basically the villagers turned against him because his evil was too powerful. So you have to be respectful when you're out in the woods.
Because they were robbing the people, basically. Now, and if you resisted, then they just kill you. Well, okay. I mean, Nazis, as we know, would seemingly kill you and then rob you. Is that right?
Correct. So, anyway. Nazis be bad. So I don't know why there was a little chest full of gold, which it was like pocket watches. I feel like for the amount of Nazis that we see at the end, it's like everyone gets one coin. Is that what it is?
If in the end, it looks like there's 100 goddamn Nazis coming out of the snow. So there isn't enough for everybody. You're going to get like a penny or some shit. You're going to have to split that shit.
Really, it's the Brady Bunch and the tiki. Just don't take it. It's not yours. This is a life lesson. Don't steal.
Don't steal. Now, I may have been asleep at this point. Did they explain? I understood the villagers were chasing the Nazis in the hood, in the hills, and then they disappeared. Seemingly, the Nazis disappeared. Was there like some occult explanation as to why there are now zombie Nazis?
No, it's the evil. It's simply the evil, and you're going to trigger the evil if you're not respectful. In fact, the Wayward Traveler said nothing about Nazi gold.
Okay, fair enough. Because again, by the end, it seems like the Nazis are going after people who've got the gold in their pocket, ignoring the fact that the first two people who die never had the gold. Unless we think, well, let's go back. Unless we think that the girlfriend whose cabin it was,
right?
She's kind of, because it was in her basement. She's been up to this cabin before, or did she just buy this cabin a week ago? Why is it now?
And who built this cabin that's 45 minutes? I guess maybe you could drive to it if you're not waist deep in snow. But and the reason we find it is because there's no refrigerator. They're in Norway. It's winter. So they just have a thing where they open up the floor and they put the groceries below the house. And that's where they found this, I don't know, 1960s jewelry box.
No explanation. I didn't know what the hell was happening. They're literally opening up a trap door to get to the frickin' crawl space under the house, and they're using that as the refrigerator.
Correct.
Sweet Jesus.
Which was 3 grocery bags for 6 people. First of all,
just beer.
It didn't look like there was even enough beer to make it through one night.
Fair.
This is a scam.
100%.
It must be Aquavit all the time.
Shh. Aquavit. So that's the thing where it's like, why did they suddenly kill the old timer? Just for telling the story? Because he was out in the middle of GD nowhere in his tent, just chilling by himself, and then he gets killed by the Nazis.
I think something woke them up, and it was maybe we don't know what. Something woke them up, and now they're going to kill anyone that gets in their way, or anyone who's out and about until they get their gold.
Well,
that's the best I can give you.
They seem the Nazi zombies seem to die like traditional zombies.
A good head stomping.
Good head stomping,
but like a grape.
They sometimes come back to life too, though. Like homie, like the main Nazi, Colonel Herzog, can just walks around and can like raise his arms like one of the white.
All right, he's the final boss, and then he brings everyone back.
Right. I mean, why would you?
Unfortunate, because I thought we were on to something good there at the end.
But that's what I'm saying. When it's the final, look, there's multiple scenes where it's like hilarity ensues. Somebody's running and a zombie like punches them, and she wakes. There's a lot of intestine play in this movie as well, but not
a lot of intestine.
Yes, a lot. It's like the one chick is slowly waking up and sees the Nazis kind of digging through her guts, going, what's up with this? And she reaches over and grabs one of those old German grenades, pulls it off his thing, and just blows him up. Boom.
Which I thought was brilliant. Boom.
Yeah.
It's the smartest thing I've seen, to have the wherewithal, even though your whole stomach is ripped out, to calmly just reach over and know how to detonate it.
Because it's not a traditional American grenade where you pull the pin. It's one of those, what they used to call potato mashers, where it's like, like a stick with the... I wouldn't know how to do that. How do I freaking do those? Some German thing. Who the hell knows?
You would just think over time it would like just self-destruct anyway.
Fair. Well, there's a scene, I think, talking about intestines, where one of the guys, or maybe it's one of the girls, bumps into a tree and keeps walking, not realizing her intestines are kind of getting pulled out. Like it's a long strain of intestine.
I feel like that's not a thing. I think you would notice if you bump into something hard enough that it pierces all the way into your stomach and grabs hold of your intestine.
Yes. I would tend to think
like,
so.
Oops, I gotta stop. I gotta stop this now.
There's also the scene where literally Snowmobile dude is fighting with the Nazi while hanging from the intestines of a third.
That was brilliant.
They're like off a cliff.
He grabs hold of an intestine of a dying Nazi as the other one is attacking him, thinking he's going to jump off, not realizing the other Nazi is hanging from his leg. Should have given that one a kick. He wouldn't have gotten the neck bite.
Well, and then, like we said, people get bit in this movie, and they seem basically fine.
Right.
I mean,
they have like a bite. I feel like they would get infected because those Nazis seem to have a lot of black juice coming out of their mouth.
Fair. But the alternative is you take an old dirty chainsaw and chop your arm off. I can't imagine that's very sanitary, right?
The most ridiculous scene is at the end when the boring guy gets bitten by the Nazis and his friend says, I don't think you're going to turn. You don't got to chop your arm off. Because now it's full Evil Dead with a chainsaw. He's like, you don't need to chop your arm. He's like, your grandfather was Jewish. It's not like they want to recruit you.
Right. Well, then 2 seconds later, he gets bit in the groin.
Yeah. And then he was like,
well, I guess
maybe you're right. But by then, I've already chopped my arm off with a chainsaw and cauterized it with a flame off the body of a burning Nazi.
They did make a sequel to this. They did.
I did see that.
And it's the one dude survives, and he's now and it's like he loses.
I'm sorry, which dude? The guy with the chopped off arm?
Dude with the chopped off arm. And the premise is he drives away with Colonel Herzog hanging on the car, and I guess they get into a car accident, and the Colonel's arm gets chopped off, and the fucking paramedics who find him
don't say
attach the zombie arm.
They don't notice that it's from a man that has been dead for 40 years or something, 50, 60, 70 years?
But now
And just has black clotted blood inside of it?
I guess not. He can now also raise the dead. So he raises an army of dead World War II Red Army soldiers to fight the Nazi zombies.
I don't know. Maybe it's better. I don't know.
Maybe it's. I haven't seen it. So I cannot comment on that.
Well, if the zombie Red Army don't all get killed fighting the Nazis, then what happens to them?
I don't know. Unclear.
Can you say go back to sleep?
Sleep like Dark City. Sweet Jesus. Anything else about Dead Snow?
There was a couple of mistakes. A couple of the Nazis, I saw their wrists when their sleeves pulled up, and it looked like the wrist of a 20-year-old. So
that's that good.
Nice
that's that good
smooth.
Fulci. Good Fulci.
Where all the money went for the shitty mask, and it doesn't surprise me there's a remake because I think it cost $50,000 to make this movie.
You don't mean a sequel.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you. Should we go behind the scenes?
Yeah, sure.
We talked about this. The Nazi zombies in this film are a combination of typical zombies in popular culture and ancient Norse mythical beings known as Draug. Draugs are
I didn't see any rune stones rising them all up. What happened with that?
Maybe they should have. They're undead beings who inhabit graves, and they would protect the treasures in the graves, I guess was the idea of these Norse mythical characters. Originally was going to be called Red Snow. But there was actually a Sweden-Norwegian miniseries of the same name. So they didn't do that. Let's see. The film's
Why didn't they call it Nazi Zombies Must Die?
Why not? Right? Snakes on a plane. Be very clear.
Snakes on a plane.
Original trailer
should have called it.
The original trailer showed World War II archive footage, including battleships, parachuting, and a command room featuring Hitler. But this material is not in the movie. So, wah, wah. Let's see. The English translation of the town Oxfjord, which is where this takes place, is Axfjord. Isn't that nice?
There you go.
That's helpful.
Very nice. Not Sweet. Nazi Fjord.
The character of Erland wears a t-shirt prominently featuring the word brain dead in English. Erland's demise at the hands of the zombie is exactly the same as the first zombie kill in the low-budget New Zealand film Dead Alive, where a zombie gouges the victim's eyes and the skull splits in half. Dead Alive was one of Peter Jackson's first movies. How about that?
Never saw it.
Yeah,
Never saw
it. It's a zombie comedy, it is truly stomach churning. It is truly, somebody gets bitten by some kind of rat monkey, and that causes the zombie apocalypse.
Are there a lot of rat monkeys in New Zealand? Because I don't want to go.
One character asks Roy if medical school taught him what to do if his intestines were pulled out.
Ooh.
This happens to Roy at the end of the film. Wah, wah. That's about it. Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we? You're gonna have to buckle up. A lot of Norwegians.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the guy, the snow, what do they call those?
What? I don't know what you're trying to say. What is this?
That's like the snow motorcycles. What's that called?
A snowmobile.
The snowmobile guy clearly is the best. He's the numero uno.
Written and directed by Tommy Wirkola. You know him from Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. He directed What Happened to Monday, Dead Snow, and The Trip. You know him, don't you?
Huh.
I like that they're all translated into English. That's helpful to me. Because technically this movie's called Dod Snow. I don't know what kind of accent I'm doing.
I'm not sure. Evil Nazi?
I'm gonna butcher these names. Jeppe Beck Larsen played Erland. You know him from such things as The Last Kingdom, 23 episodes. He was in Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters in 2013. That's actually an American movie that had oh shit, what's his name? The dude who got run over by a snowplow.
Oh, Green Arrow.
Yeah, not Green Arrow, but yes, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Dead Snow and something called The Last King in 2016.
I saw The Last King of Scotland. Is that the same one?
Exactly the same thing. Charlotte Frogner played Hannah, the girl who falls off a cliff and gets buried in the snow and survives. You
and
know
survives until her boyfriend cuts her throat
on accident because she got too close when he was stabbed. That was a bummer.
Well,
he hits her with the axe. Ah!
That was on her. That was
you know her from Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead. She was in something called Havaller, 24 episodes. I think that's a Norwegian show. Seed Om Seed, 67 episodes. I don't know. It's Norway. What can I tell you?
What could you say?
Do we want to know about any of these other actors? A lot of Norwegian actors. I guess the guy Roy, who is basically the asshole, was also the co-writer. I like his name's Roy. Is that a common name in Norway?
Roy seems kind of strange. It feels like it's a nickname.
You know him. His name is Stig Frode Henriksen. They all have 3 names, which I find fascinating. You know him from Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, Dead Snow, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Evidently, half the cast is in Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. And What Happened to Monday in 2017. How about that?
Yeah. It's a group of friends and they just keep casting each other. Boom.
Good grief. Let's look at the rating, shall we? Dead Snow, or Dod Snow, if you will.
Yes.
Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, 67% fresh.
I think that's fair.
Do you know what the audience gave it?
71.
56.
Ooh.
Not a fan, I guess. Shit.
No.
Let's look at the top critics here. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times says, if Mystery Science Theater 3000 had never existed, Dead Snow would have had to invent it. 2.5 out of 4. How about that?
That seems fair.
Okay. Let's see. Peter Travers from the Rolling Stone magazine says, if you tap down your expectations, there's a storm of scary fun to be had in this Scandinavian splatterfest. 2.5 out of 4. What's funny is 2.5 out of 4 is considered positive from Peter Travers.
Yes.
2.5 out of 4 is considered negative for Roger Ebert.
Right, right.
Why is that? Okay. From The Observer, we have Rex Reed, the real one.
Real Rex Reed.
The result piles on relentless thrills and unimaginable horrors with a shock ending guaranteed to make you scream out loud. He was a fan, evidently.
He was a fan. I did like the end.
That's shocking, though. Let's see. And as you know, we always like to include also our counterpoint, our in-house movie critic, AI Rex Reed, the fake
AI.
one.
Let's go.
Dead Snow is a frostbitten splatter farce where Nazi zombies pop out of the powder like deranged ski instructors, and the only thing thicker than the blood is the movie's wink at its own stupidity.
Weak.
Can't all be winners.
Real Rex Reed was better.
Well, he's a real person. Anyway,
Imagine that.
imagine that.
Imagine that.
Aaron, what is your rating for Dead Snow?
The very opening scene is amazing. I like the second half better than the first half. I like the adventures of the two guys. But honestly, I was getting a little bored. Again, we don't really care about them while they're in the cabin. There's nothing like, oh, they're so cool. I wish I could hang out with them in this boring cabin. The most exciting thing about their trip is when the Nazis came out. And unexplained toilet sex? No. Pass.
Well, was that meant to be like a funny moment? Like the sheer ridiculousness of it, was that meant to be like kind of making fun of 80s slashers?
And first of all, you're not taking off all your clothes because it's as cold as a witch's tit. You're only going to expose the bare necessities.
Literally, the bare necessities.
You're in an outhouse where they haven't even bothered to seal the cracks. And there's no way that sewage water would be liquid. You would have been hitting a block of ice when you fell through with a fresh shirt on top.
It's not like you're sharing a cabin with your parents where you have to go in the bushes or something, right?
No.
If you said, we're going to go into the room and right now, your friends will give you a high five. They don't give a
They don't give a... But maybe it's just more exciting to just surprise someone taking a crap.
That is a surprise.
Part of the Norwegian mating ritual.
They made a point. He didn't say, I have to take a piss. He literally announced to everybody, I have to go take a shit. And she was like, ooh, keep talking, big boy.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that.
You are right. The slats in the outhouse were so separated, she could see a zombie eye looking at her. That's the full eye.
When you see this isn't some fucking rustic cabin in the woods shit. This looks like it was built 2 years ago by professionals. This wasn't like my great granddad whipped this together using just his mind and shit he found in the woods. This is a new build.
Well, and it seemed to have electricity. No plumbing, but electricity.
And mysteriously they announced that there is no cell service except when they all of a sudden want to call someone after half the people are dead. Then it works, but now his phone's dead. So plug the fucker in.
Right.
Because those don't appear to be gas lights everywhere. No. They had electricity.
100%. It's all very
strange. From where, I don't know, because I saw no towers unless everything is so underground. It's amazing.
They had to drive a car for hours to get to the part where they have to hike up or take the snowmobile up to the cabin. So who the hell knows what the story is.
Scam. So based on all of that,
please.
2.8.
2.8
out of 5.
I thought it was fine. I've said it before. I said it. It was fine. I don't think it was so funny that I'm like, hey guys, you got to check this out. But it was by no means like, oh, this is an awful piece of shit. I'm gonna give it a hard 3.
Yeah,
a 3. It's fine.
We're not that far off.
No, we're knocking on the same door. It's fine. It's and it's
there are elements.
They're elements. They're real elements. And I've talked about this before. When you are watching a zombie movie, I think there's a point of how much gore you need to have it be a true zombie movie. If there's no gore, like if you're watching one of those Resident Evil movies, it kind of kills it. You got to have some gore. So I don't know if this movie had enough.
You have undead people who are taking bites out of you. There has to be something.
I mean, they threw a brain on the floor, but other than that, this movie is really very tame in terms of violence. Truly.
I mean, Evil Dead, pencil in the ankle, that was one of the most cringy, upsetting, freaky things I ever saw in my life.
Fair.
The brains hitting the floor, I'm jaded.
Well, and like you said, I think that was played for laughs. I think that was supposed to be funny.
But a pencil in your ankle, you can feel that. I mean, it was so unrealistic that it's not going to frighten you. It's definitely just for jokes.
Fair. Okay. Any last thoughts before we move on with our lives?
No, and if you ask me about this next week, I'll be like, did we watch that? I don't remember.
That is a question.
Because it's not one of those movies where you leave and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to think about that. I'm going to have to process that a little bit. I mean, I'd be open to watching part 2. That sounds like it might be a little funnier, but who knows?
And that's why it's true. If it was a horrible piece of shit, we wouldn't even consider watching the sequel. But the fact that our interest is kind of peaked tells you that it's close, but not close enough.
Right.
So, anywho.
Someone came up with another $100,000. I mean, Bloodhouse 2. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. See, Blood Cult 2, Return of Ignatius.
Blood Cult Purse. I'm very confused how the name keeps shifting of our brother's movie.
That's a question. That's a question. Anywho, thank you very much. We are all across the social media landscape. We're on Threads, Blue Sky. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube if you want to see our smiling faces.
Whoop, whoop.
You can email us, the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I administer our ticker talker. I am the Cult of Aaron on Instagram. Join the cult. I also have artwork on Artsy and First Dibs. Aaron Doherty, check it out.
Check it out. As you know, we like to include our friends and family's thoughts and feelings across the social media landscape. Aaron, what are the streets saying?
Oh, the streets be saying stuff. Who knew that Armageddon would be the most exciting thing that we ever recorded? Because that is just goddamn confusing to me. Rudy Flores, great movie. Hamster something or other, very good movie. Chris Rojas says, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, what's wrong with these?
Just in general?
Someone else told me I will cry. And let me tell you, let me reassure you, I did not.
Fair.
I wanted to close my eyes, but it's not because I'm going to miss you, babe.
I do want to close my eyes.
I want to escape from this horror. Parasite. Richard Roberts says, Demi Moore. Yep. And Harry McKnight says, love this movie.
Oh, shit.
I'm really concerned about some of our viewers.
That's fair. Aaron, as you may or may not know, the next few weeks are going to be jam-packed, full of action. We're going to be appearing on the Cultworthy Cinema podcast. We're going to be appearing on Collateral Cinema podcast. We're going to be appearing on maybe two more other podcasts. Next week, we're going to be discussing it's not really a horror movie. It's kind of an action serial. It's The Phantom, starring Billy Zane, Christy Swanson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Treat Williams. You've got James Remar. Yes.
Is this some kind of superhero bullshit?
Yes, it's a superhero bullshit. It's a superhero bullshit.
I think I saw it during my oh my God, Billy Zane phase.
It's a fair phase, if I'm being honest. If you want to watch it, there's some places you can go. You can watch it on Hoopla for free.
Our library canceled Hoopla.
How about Pluto TV with ads?
Maybe.
You can rent it for $1.99 on Prime Video. How about that? Or, if you're so inclined, you can buy it for $7.99 on Prime.
Is that
Video.
what you did?
I do not own this. If I can watch it for free on Pluto, that is what I shall do. So, check it out. Send any favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may be putting you on the show. Antonio, our buddy from a Cult-Worthy Cinema podcast, will be our guest next week to discuss The Phantom. So buckle up.
Boom.
So, thank you very much, and be well.
Be well, my children.